Okay, so in today's math lesson, what we started doing is finding quantities using percentages, which is kind of neat. So we're manipulating all kinds of numbers and things, and so, well, here we go. So in our first exercise here, we have 60 animal exhibits at a local zoo. What percent of the zoo's exhibits does each animal class represent? So let's start with mammals. We have 30 exhibits of mammals here out of a total of 60. So right away, I'm going to write that as a fraction. So I have 30 out of 60. Now, ultimately, I want a percentage. Now, a percentage is some value out of 100. So down here, over here, I want to find out what is that number out of 100, because once I find out that particular value, I then have the percentage. So what can I do? Well, I can play around a little bit with numbers here. I can start reducing this or lowering my terms here for my 30 over 60. And I realize that 30 over 60 is indeed 1/2. Now, from 1/2, I do realize that 1/2 is also 50 out of 100. And from there, I realize that, well, 50 out of 100 is then 50%, because a percentage is, again, some number out of 100. Okay? Same holds true for number 15 here. Excuse me, for the number 15 here. I have 15 out of 60 here, and I do realize that 15 out of 60 does equal 1/4, because I can divide both of these guys by 15. And from there, I can actually scale back up to 100, because I do realize that 4 times 25 gives me 100. Therefore, 1 times 25 gives me 25. And again, once I have that 100 as a denominator, I just look to the numerator and I have my percentage, 25%. Okay. Kind of a neat skill. So if you're good at manipulating and reducing and raising and lowering the values of that fraction, you're in good shape, okay? All right, so that's one thing we did today. Next thing I want to talk about is using diagrams to find out some information. So, for example, let's take a pair of jeans here. It was 30% off the original price. The sale resulted in a $24 discount, which is cool. So it does talk about this whole deal about whole parts and percentages. Okay, whole parts and percentages. Well, the 30% is obviously a percentage. The sale resulted in a $24 discount. Well, the $24 discount would be the part of the price. And what we need to do here is find out the original price. The original price would then be the whole. Okay, so that's our job today. So what is the total cost, the original cost of the jeans before the sale? So what I'm going to do is to start working with that 30%. And that 30% I have over here, I'm going to put that as a fraction, because I want to find out what is the actual fraction off the original price. So the fraction lowers down to 3 out of 10, okay, or reduce down to 3 out of 10, because I can divide both of these guys by 10. Now, where did I get the 30 from? Well, it was 30%. Okay, 30% is some number, or a percentage is some value over 100, so I'm going to start there. From that point, I can then start drawing what this looks like. Okay, so 3 out of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's my price. It's split into 10 parts, and I'm getting a 30% deal on this thing, so 30% off, which means if this is a 0% area over here, here's 100%, or my total price, right? The total value of the item. I'm getting 30% off, so here's 10%, here's another 10%, here's another 10%. So right here, here's my 30% off. I'm going to mark that off there a little bit. There's my 30% off. Now, it does say that sale resulted in a $24 discount, which means over here, I can put this underneath, that 30% does total $24. Now, why is that important to me? Well, it actually sets up things very well. Well, because over here's my $0 amount. Okay, I want to find this guy. I want to find the total. That's what I'm looking for. The good news is I now have all the information I need. Why is that true? Well, I do notice that from here to here is $24. And if that's true, and I have 3 boxes that make up that 24, that means the value of each box is $8. And why is that cool? Well, that's great, because that means every box is worth $8. Okay? There they are, all $8. And I do notice that I have 10 boxes, and if I do have 10 boxes and every box is worth 8, well, then I can take my 10, I can multiply it by my $8, and I realize that the original asking price must have been $80. Okay? Kind of cool. I like how that works. So there's the deal, folks. So my advice to you, take your percentage, or take what you know, break it down, simplify things a little bit so you can wind up drawing what it is you know, take some more information, put it into that drawing. That $24 helped me out a lot, and I realized 3 boxes gave me $24. 24 divided by 8 gives me, 24 divided by 3 gave me that $8 for each box. Okay? And once I found the value of each box, I was good to go. I had 10 boxes, each worth 8. And, well, that's the deal. Okay? So the total price is $80 on a $24 discount, which is really 30% off. Okay? That's it, folks. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.